Good evening. We're back. Underground World News Live. Let's get the mic check in. Thank you, Steely. Thank you, Deanne, for the super chats. Hope you guys had a blessed Merry Christmas as well. Much love. Thank you guys right at the gate. I hope all is well. Good to see you, MC Dirty. Thank you, Tooch. Tacos, Kev Bar, for sharing the stream. Thank you for the feedback, everyone. Good to see you, Conceal, Academy, R2M, Kenzo. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing good. Have been enjoying time here with family and friends, hopefully. Or just some time at peace. Yeshua is King. Again, thank you for the feedback, everyone. Nebraska checking in. And thank you, Silver Sailor. I just retweeted that, opened it up, kicked it out there. Reposted it on X, should I say. We're going to jump into everything, as always. Touch on a little bit of everything going on around the world. And if you want to get my attention, you can holler at me there in the chat. And you can email me as well, dabu7@yahoo.com. Yeah, keeping my eyes peeled. Keep one on the chat, one on the stories on another screen, and I go back and forth. And that's pretty much how I get through the stream. So if you want to get my attention, best ways to at me there in the chat. We're going to start off with an active shooter reported at an Idaho sheriff's office. D. White, are you out there? Cannons, much love, my brother. Good to see you, man. We need to talk, my man. Hopkinson, much love. Thank you for everything. Peace to all. Ribs, much love. Yeah, we've got an active shooter reported at Idaho Sheriff's Office. Police are telling the locals to stay away from the area. So this is kind of, I'll give you the rundown here. Authorities confirming an active shooter at a sheriff's office in northern Idaho. Law enforcement responding to the shooting at the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office in Wallace. Okay, and that's according to the Mineral County Sheriff's Office, which is just across the border in Montana. Online reports of an active shooter at the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office in Wallace are accurate, they say. They're sending reinforcement to help the neighbor. Please pray for all law enforcement, said the sheriff's office in a social media announcement. They say stay out of the downtown area in Wallace right now, if at all possible. These, you can see it on the screen. These are the latest updates. So there seems to be an active shooter in the area, opened fire on someone. SWAT units on the scene. It's unclear who the shooter is or why the sheriff's office was targeted. The county courthouse and the jail are in the same building. Interesting thing to note right there. The Idaho Transportation Department said exit 62, which leads in and out of Wallace via I-90, has been closed. Okay, so Julie Swindle Ward has posted a series of videos to Facebook showing a heavy police presence outside of that sheriff's office, saying that there's sheriffs everywhere. Long guns are out, handguns are out. They've already heard multiple shots fired. So this is a fluid, active situation. You can see they got the APCs out here, the armored vehicle, sheriffs everywhere. And it seems to be this building right here in the background that's targeted. So look, anybody has any friends or family in the area, give them a call. Check in, see what's going on. They have this place surrounded, and there's been no updates of, shooter down or shooter apprehended. It says check back for updates right there. We've checked back. This is the latest. I'll give it one more update, one more refresh. Just says 2 people have been shot when a gunman opened fire. 2 victims wounded by the gunfire. Does not give any indication of their injuries. Besides, they were taken to the hospital. We don't know anything else. So, no other updates. I'll update as I get them, especially on the shooter. Apparently, he could still be running loose. So, that's the big heads up here. All right, so right out the gate, want to make sure people know what's going on there. What's up, Steve? Good to see everybody. All right, I wanted to just share this. It is Christmas, the Christmas time, and depending on where you're at, you may or may not see some lights. Set up. People all over got lights randomly around Christmas, man. No matter where you're at, it seems. Whatever road, wherever you're at, like, you could end up seeing Christmas lights. Well, this guy right here in Dallas, talk about going all out, man. He has a Grinch themed display, which has a huge cost to this. It cost him, as you can see here, $25,000 in traffic control alone. That's insane. That is insane. Like, so you got to have some money here for this event. So just in the traffic control, 25 grand. It's primarily for security and officers out there to direct traffic. In the evening is going to be the hottest time. But you can see the shot right here, and I'm going to kind of look at this. Wild. It does look pretty magical, but lights are lights, bright lights, and Christmas is Christmas, man. Talking about going all out, I just can't imagine. Like, just insane. The entire place looks like it's like encrusted in diamonds, lit up, and yeah, just talk about going all out. All right, we've got 3 dead from the weather in California. I tried to warn about this before we went into the Christmas Day. Since the last stream, it was kind of inevitable because this thing was bearing down hard. This atmospheric river dumped a ton of rain on an area that was already saturated. Play a small clip here.
Tonight, a trail of destruction in Wrightwood. Homes and cars buried in feet of mud after a raging wall of water swept through this tight-knit mountain community.
Have you ever seen just the wall of water, mud, and debris come down like it did?
Not like this.
Volunteers at this popular snowboard rental shop removing sludge by the barrel.
Piles and piles of mud everywhere. It was honestly very heartbreaking to hear that this place was getting washed out.
Water rushed in so fast here, some residents had no time to get out.
By the time those messages, those notifications came in to us, the roads were already impassable.
Damage assessment teams today canvassing the area. How catastrophic is it?
Some of it's complete failures. We've had houses washed off the foundations, and we've had also houses twisted on foundations. So it's very serious.
These are the stunning images up close. This overturned car was actually parked about 50 yards in that direction. Areas near Wrightwood recorded more than 10 inches of rain since Monday. Across Southern California, more than 100 people were rescued during flash flooding, mostly by boat or helicopter. Residents in the hardest hit communities now cleaning up the destruction left behind.
It's really such a special place, and I am so happy though that we were all able to band together and get this place cleaned up and hopefully ready to start back up the snowboard season in a couple weeks here.
Dana Griffin, NBC News, Wrightwood, California.
Well, they got to depend on each other here because you can't count on FEMA. We've seen that, learned that time and time again. It's been bad. All the disasters in FEMA just not coming through. But look at the destruction. Some of these places buried in feet of mud and debris. That's crazy. The water overflowing, causing mudslides. Now, look, I've got to, let me see what I got here on this next one. Okay, this is connected to it, but let me jump over here real quick and read to you the update here on terms of the water being dumped in this area. You got to pay attention to this because I say it all the time, it seems. Water weight will cause earthquakes. And that's exactly what I put when I put this tweet out. It says that Santa Barbara has received 99% of its annual rainfall in just 6 weeks, totaling over 18 inches since mid-November. What is that? Lake Kakwama is now spilling in December for the first time since 1983. So you got some things going down. This area seeing more water than they've seen since 1983. They're getting flooded bad. This ain't good. So you've also got the state of emergency being declared for this winter storm hitting New York. You're talking New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Connecticut. Heavy snow and ice affecting over 20 million people. So, also, see, Long Island, Western Massachusetts, parts of Rhode Island, Maryland, Delaware, Virginia, West Virginia, all placed under a winter weather advisory because of this. So we saw a warm pattern. We knew a cold pattern was going to come behind it. There's still this that has to make its way all the way through this most recent one. But it looks like it's not going to be as bad as they were calling for initially here, at least in my neck of the woods. It's kind of shifted up to the northeast. So the northeast, you're going to get hammered, it seems, by this system, unfortunately. Now, I might as well pull up the feed here real quick over on X and point out something with this next piece of information. What you were looking at in the sky is said to be 3i Atlas, a composite of it, multiple images stacked together. This isn't the first time we've got this, just to tell you. So as crazy as it may sound, this isn't the first time that this imagery of a wheel, a spinning wheel, it's been shown several times. I got multiple videos talking about it. And here it is again, because different people are catching this, and this is what they're doing. They're getting long exposures, and they're just taking the images that they're getting of this, and they're stacking them together, and you end up getting this wheel within a wheel within a wheel type of feature. Now, do you know what that describes? That describes Ezekiel's wheel. pretty darn close almost to a T. This is why people are flipping out like, man, this is like Ezekiel's wheel if you've ever seen one. I'm going to tell you, I've said it before. This is no comet. This is not a comet. This is unlike any comet you've ever seen in your life. And this is not a comet. Not in the traditional sense of a rock with a bunch of ice that's in it and got pockets and they're outgassing, and it's just this lump of material that has no intelligence embedded within it. This thing has intelligence embedded within it. That's the thing. It's displayed these unique anomalies over and over again since it showed up and dropped into our ecliptic plane on a 0.05% chance of being natural. That should have told you right there. And then the course that it laid out of passing right through Mars's atmosphere. It's about to go through Jupiter's. It actually adjusted course going around perihelion and made it to where it's going to go right perfectly at the hill radius going around Jupiter. And what that is it's like the radius of its magnetic pull, meaning that if it was to drop anything off per se, let's just say a piece broke off of it, okay, within the hill radius, it would be pulled toward Jupiter at that point because of its magnetic pull. It is skimming this line perfect. Like the odds are just beyond astronomical, meaning that it can continue on its path without even being affected by Jupiter's gravitational pull because it's timing it perfect. Okay. This thing has jets going out in two different directions. And, man, you know what? I think I've also got, well, let me play this clip and I got another clip. I'm going to play behind it.
I have something to show you. It's
great.
Brand new. It just dropped.
What?
Space Tracker released a set of deep zoom images of 3i Atlas, and they are honestly very strange. Now, to start, these aren't single photos. They're 20-minute stacked exposures from an observer named Diego San Arrojo. Hopefully I said that right. But Space Tracker stabilized the frames, zoomed in 4,000%. They removed noise, corrected color, and averaged everything together. When you stack frames over 20 minutes, you reveal structures that are completely invisible in a single snapshot. And what it shows is a 4-point star, basically star-shaped luminous core surrounded by kind of a plasma-like
That's
haze.
not 4 points.
The symmetry is unusual, and the biggest surprise is that there's no obvious tail direction in this averaged composite, even though we know that the object has both dust and ion jets. So here's where the conversation gets a little interesting, and I'm going to call this kind of the woo-woo section. But it's worth talking about because, well, you'll see why. Just last week, Medium published an article called 3i Atlas Complex Jet Structured Angles Revealed. And in it, they traced out the potential jet geometry. The outline they mapped actually resembles a figure from a medieval artwork, specifically one of the little crafts in the fresco of the Crucifixion of Christ. People have also taken it a step further. Some are saying that this new 4,000% deep zoom image looks like Ezekiel's wheel from biblical descriptions. Again, these are visual parallels, not literal interpretations, but humans do compare unfamiliar things to old imagery to make sense of them. But I get why these comparisons are circulating. I mean, the symmetry does look unusual. But let's talk about a more grounded explanation, perhaps. If 3i Atlas is spinning, its jets sweep around almost like a sprinkler. And when you average that motion over 20 minutes, it creates a 360-degree symmetric pattern, basically a star-like glow. And honestly, these processed images do support some of the theories scientists have suggested. All of this is consistent with an object not behaving like a typical solar system comet. That is for sure. I'll link the Space Tracker's full analysis below so you can take a look at all the frames yourself. But give me your opinion. Are these shapes just rotation artifacts?
Look at that. This is Guys, look, man. Never have I ever, ever been able to talk about something like this that's real, that like is like really happening. Like this is look, the timing with disclosure and all this is not a coincidence to me. There's no way. There's no way with this thing creeping through. Now it's dropping the building blocks of life. As he said, in the other composites, in like a normal shot, you can see that it does have two tails. Now, here's a shout out to Dobsonian. Much love to Dobsonian. And thank you, Hopkinson, for dropping the video link over to his interview with Avi Loeb, which was interesting, to say the least. Our man, Dobsonian, interviewed Avi and asked him straight up about the anomalies, and they were just honest about it, about the tails and the nature of it and how it flipped. And these are the facts. These are the facts. What it comes down to with this thing. Anyone trying to say, okay, it's a comet. It was a comet and an outcast. Well, they're like, there's no way. And what Avi does is he breaks it down real quick, regardless of what you think about him. He breaks it down factually to where they talk about the anti-tail. This is key, okay? It's key because this tail, or whatever it is, it stayed facing the sun the entire time. So at perihelion, it literally vanished. Would look like it vanished, but it was pointing down toward the sun for that small moment of time. And then as soon as it got on the other side of the sun, it stayed pointing at it the entire time. It still is. So if you were a technological type of craft and you were traversing this inner solar system, as he puts it, you would kick out a tail like this toward the sun, because what it would do, and I don't know, I think what do you say, 1,000,000 kilometers? I don't remember the exact length, but it's pretty far. This tail toward the sun, it acts like a buffer, he explains. It goes out almost like a shield, a pointed shield that goes down any cosmic rays, any solar wind, anything. Come on, the CME, like the CME that let loose when it went around the sun, it would deflect this in a manner, almost like off in each direction. So it's going way out in a very pointed cone type of shape toward the sun the entire time, meaning that anything that comes toward it's going to be deflected in one of two different ways, which is insane. So he said also the odds that there was a pocket of ice that survived perihelion that just so happened to be perfectly at one pole, it's like, there's no way. There's no way. First off, it should have broke apart. He's like, there's no way. And the fact that it's still kicking out this much material. But then here's this. When it went around the sun, it behaved in a way that nothing else has behaved before. The side that was sun facing before was sun facing and had one side dark, almost like a dark side of the moon type deal. Okay. Soon as it passed, he said that basically all that flipped. So when it flipped and this tail stayed pointed toward the sun, what he was saying is like, you would have had to have had another hidden pocket on the opposite pole, perfect at the opposite pole, hidden, that starts outgassing right when it flipped. He goes, dude, there's no way. And I'm trying with this thing the entire time to stick to the scientific facts of it the best we can. If this was the first time seeing this, like I would be leaning toward, all right, this is fake. Like, I want to see more evidence in this now. But I have already covered this and covered the wheel several times from several different people. So this is real. It's not one person made this, is what I'm trying to tell you, man. Okay? Something's going on here that we've never seen before. Never, ever. Again, every comet that's come through here is looking like a comet for the most part. Besides Oumuamua, which is interstellar. And was it Ison or Elenin? I forget, one of the two. It was shaped like a V. It sure was. And we covered it all the way in. Covered all these objects throughout all the years. All of them. I've heard all these dudes come out and say Planet X is coming, the Beeru's coming so many times throughout the years. So many times, man. Not to say that something couldn't pop up or be going down, but look, you got this in the sky. And if you got a telescope, try to catch it. We're getting the clearest images right now because we just passed perihelion. It's like right there on clear skies, clear nights. If the moon's not bright, lighten it up and you can capture this thing. Guys are. And wow. Talk about Ezekiel's wheel. Never seen anything like it. Ever. I'm not sure if we ever will again. See comets all the time. There was half a dozen different comets in the inner solar system right around the same time right now. From Pan-STARRS, Lemon, all these different ones. But none of them, not a freaking one of them, looked like that. So that crown jewels in the house. Much love, brother. All right. I got the chat back up. Want to give a shout out to Farmer Ja Rowe. Much love. Thank you for the 5 coffees. Appreciate it to the fullest. All right. A heads up real quick on space weather. We could see an X flare off the sun. Just because this 4321 is holding a 90-degree twist, which shows tension, and it could snap, and we get an M or an X flare, pretty much Earth directed at this point. So just a heads up for that. Follow me on X, because if anything pops off and I don't drop a video on it, then but if we're going to get a major G3, G4 storm, I'm more than likely drop a video on it. Because most people have no clue what's going on throughout the day and the week in terms of solar weather. One of these times, the sun's going to reach out and hit us pretty good. It's like, come on. All right, I've got a recall here on a painkiller taken by millions of people out there. Tramadol. They say it's the most popular opioid painkiller around the world, with the U.S. alone seeing over 16 million prescriptions in 2023. It's been prescribed for nearly 5 decades as a treatment for moderate to severe chronic pain. And now they're saying that it can cause all types of different stuff. Of course, this is how it always happens, right? They had 19 studies where all these people put side effects down as being chest pain, coronary artery disease, or CAD, congestive heart failure, nausea, dizziness, and constipation. So heart conditions, deadly heart conditions connected to the use of this. They say tramadol can be given in both the hospital and outpatient for someone to take it home. Like any opiate, tramadol can carry some risk of addiction. Still, it is generally considered to have a lower addiction potential than stronger opioids like oxycodone, Percocets, and Vicodins and things like that. So, but people thought, oh, I'm taking this because it's going to be safer. Not necessarily, man. These days, any day now, they can come out, put out a warning on anything. On absolutely anything, man. Really gotta be mindful of everything that you put into your body. This is not like the days of old. I'm telling you, it's not like the days, especially when I was growing up, like younger, like young teen. Things changed in my life because of fentanyl. I'm gonna say, it was before that. It was oxys. It was dudes taking oxys, man, and it was everywhere. My teenage years, early 20s, I worked all kinds of jobs, was all over a different place, trying different things, and met a lot of different people, traveled all over the place, did different things, and like everywhere I went, it seemed like people were on pills. Like it just seemed like it, all the time. Like someone somewhere was like on taking some pills, like they were candy, and me being like allergic to them, like I was never never got into none of that stuff like a lot of these other cats did. And I remember back in the day, used to walk in parties, man, just guys be handfuls of all these pills, and like you're crazy. And then my first friend died. I was like 18. I stopped my thought. I'm like, look at what you guys are doing, man. Like, you guys are taking like handfuls of pills, like, drinking bottles of liquor. And it's like, nah, man. Like this, it R.I.P. Big Dennis. He gave me the Bible that I'm sitting there staring at. It's crazy. It's crazy. Pissed me off. Pissed me off then, pissed me off now. So ever since Dennis left, so many dudes have died. So many dudes. I go on and on all the time about it. But it went through phases. It was like people were on pills, but then dudes would go on to OCs, and I'm like, it was horror stories. Nothing but horror stories would come to OCs, it seemed like, all the time. And then like more and more stories pop up of dudes that overdose, the good buddies, more and more throughout the years. Like as soon as fentanyl came in, it was raps, because it wasn't just like, it was a bunch of like, I'm gonna say for the most part, all the way, it was all innocence. Like no one was seeking death, but death got them. But fentanyl got bad because like somebody would want, a pill off of somebody for a headache or something, something, that should not cost you your life, but yet it does. Or yet you could just touch it. You could be a parent that finds it in a room somewhere and just pick it up like one of these pills. And by the time you get downstairs and you throw them on the counter, just handling them got you overdosed. Like that's how deadly fentanyl is. It wasn't like that back in the day. We couldn't even touch the damn things. Like it's a whole different animal, man. Is that worth it? It's really not. It's really not, man. I mean, that's Russian roulette. That's gambling big time. I don't see how anyone could be willing or wanting to take that gamble. But, addiction's addiction, man. And it takes the best of them. But look, R.I.P. to all the fallen. I try to put out the word here. Hopefully, it stops somebody from touching something one of these days and saves a life. I saved one of my friend's lives one time, and it was like the greatest thing ever until he died. And I wasn't there to bring him back or anything like that and save him. It's again, the drugs, man. Pisses me off. So they've taken out a small army, I'm gonna tell you, by doing, if you stop and think, because I know you all are affected by, I know people that's got sons and daughters and kids and nephews, and I hear it all the time. All right, mortgage rates let's jump into some more positive stuff here. Things kind of shifting. We are at a bubble, though, in terms of the economy and everything else. Let's be clear about that. We are at the top of a bubble that keeps inflating, and at any time that can pop. So that's the asterisk here. But mortgage rates dipped to a 3-year low. Home sellers outnumber the buyers, and it's opening up a window here in the market for 2026. Hopefully for some positive things here. It's already looking positive. What this does is anyone that's out there trying to get a mortgage rate, 30-year fixed, and this isn't the 50-year. Remember the whole 50-year scam the Trump administration just pitched. Like, it's not what you want to do at all. Because you pay like $1 million is what you end up paying for like a $500,000 house over that time frame. We went over the numbers before. But as these rates come back, it opens up a window here where you got to say, okay, 2026 and 2027, that's probably going to be your best window to buy a home. Is what it's looking like. Because right now, they're saying that some of the markets are collapsing in some areas. I was just reading articles earlier on the real estate across the country. It looks like Texas and Florida are getting hit primarily the hardest in terms of the real estate and like a downturn in the houses. For every place got its own little set of circumstances and reasons on why things are failing and turning down. But out of the top 10, they came out of 2 states, Florida and Texas. I didn't even take time to even look at Texas. I zeroed in on Florida, like what's going on here? Because 5 of the 10 were like situated right there in Southwest Florida, like Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Punta Gorda, all those types of areas. The houses, you could go over to Zillow and look, and you could see, if you looked all across Florida and all these different areas, they were cheaper there, and probably going to continue to be cheaper at this rate. And when it comes to Florida, you got all these different variables. What area has sinkholes? Which area, as normal, has high prices, high crime? Which area gets hit hard by hurricanes? Like, got a lot to calculate when it comes to Florida. All these different things. But I noticed that that was the case. But that shows that the market is turning down there. Yeah, but it opens up an opportunity for buyers. Just does. No other way around it. So if you're selling, it's not really what you're hoping for. But if you're buying, but then when the buying picks up, I will say this: if there's going to be ever another spike in the housing, it will be obviously the rebound out of this. A bunch of people going out and buying because interest rates pull back, coupled with a surge in the price of wood, lumber. The last time that everything went bananas, it's because of lumber. And see, because I do this every single day, I got all this locked in my brain. I remember the explosion. And I remember we sat here because we look at everything. We look at all the commodities. We look at everything that's happening at the moment. Precious metals, all this stuff. And when the housing blew up, the price of wood went through the roof. And there was different factors connected to that. things that were happening up in Canada and weather fires and all this stuff. It all ties in. So if more things like that were to happen, a chain of events that affects lumber to where lumber prices were to go skyrocketing again, that right there would be, you have to learn from the past. That's when things are going to pick up and surge. That you want to sell into that if you're looking to sell into that surge. If you get it, everything's so shaky out here. Knowing they're going to reset everything, you just don't know when. The day's going to come when the banks are going to get froze up, and all this is going to get, everything's going to get locked up. The economic crunch has hit Santa Claus. Santa Claus is showing up less and less. They say professional Santa Claus jobs in the U.S. have dropped sharply. Listings down 35%. Santa without a job here. It's that bad. That's where we're at. Elves have been picking up job gigs easier at higher pay than Santa. They say that Santa should be making a median of about $25 an hour, but he's stuck at 20 with the elves gaining. and look, this doesn't make me happy. Everything's falling apart. Sucks. I was at my mom's and she played this video from September 10th, 1995. And boy, you talk about a wig splitter, boy. It took me back to that time. Yeah, 95. Are you kidding me? Blew me away. Seeing the old computer in the living room. First one ever got on. It's crazy. My original Charlie Cat. My grandma was alive. My grandpa was alive. My aunt was alive. My uncle was alive. All these people that are dead was alive. It's nuts. And I was the one filming. And it blew me away. Like in my memory bank, I forgot all about it. Even looked at myself in the mirror one time, so I was like, "Wow, man, it's crazy throwback." But I remember back in the days, back in those days, you used to go to the mall, right? Mall used to be packed. Mall used to be a place to go, and there would be Santa. Santa would be in the mall, and there'd be a long line of people wanting to get their picture taken or meet Santa. See Santa, but like that's not happening no more, unfortunately. On the last show, the show before, I showed the iconic mall in San Francisco, huge, beautiful mall, ghost town, Christmas music playing, but like nobody's there. Nobody's there, meaning there's nobody for Santa to even talk to or see. So like, all this stuff is vanishing. It's pretty crazy. We said that about Black Friday as well. Black Friday used to be a big thing. People used to get out and scrap and, do all the crazy stuff on Black Friday. But people doing so much online shopping and they changed the deals and all this. It's like evaporated. And nothing's like it used to be, back in the day, especially with the malls, man. Like a ghost town. I mean, what else do you do with such a huge space just going to waste? It's kind of scary, man. It's real scary. Like, I would like to see some life, like something, like not an absolute ghost town, dude. Something, like, because like this place is like dead. Stick a fork in this, then, like. Malls will cease to exist. They'll end up getting tore down in 10 years. They won't be around then. Doug, thank you for gifting the memberships. To everyone that received them, welcome to the underground. I don't want to see them vanish. I'd like to see them stick around. I'd like to see malls still exist. I'd like to see people walking around and shopping and stores exist. They give jobs and all this other stuff. I'd like to see that still exist, man. People just sit back. You have to make a choice in your life, man. You really do. If you're feeding into this, because if you're feeding into this, you're helping introduce this and bring this in and helping to keep it here. People that are no longer going to the malls and doing any shopping or anything like that, you're helping to feed into it. Unfortunately, it's the way that you have to stop and think what's happening. So yeah, as more people shop online now with drones delivering, people don't even have to do nothing. Are you kidding me? And down in Atlanta, you can have stuff delivered by this little itty bitty vehicle that pulls up. This robotic vehicle pulls up, delivers, takes off, and by drone. So you got both choices there, all by robots, all AI, and it cuts the person out. So you just ordered a pizza and this little thing pulls up and drops it off. Well, guess what? You're out here struggling to find your kids a job, honest job. Well, what did you do, Dad? When you were our age? Well, hell, one of my first jobs was delivering pizza. But all the pizza joints aren't even hiring for that anymore because they're sending robots out. Again, everything's getting replaced. So, the world that you live in, appreciate it for what it is. Even though things suck now compared to how they used to be, appreciate, because 10 years from now, on the other side of 2030, it's to say 2030, we got to get to and through that first. Kenzo, and much love, fam. Good to see you. I do appreciate the love and support. And let me see here. Much love, D. White. Embullion. Silver Sailor. All the cats out there just now checking, seeing a few notifications there. We're going to keep it pushing here. Again, thank you for all that, guys. Appreciate it to the fullest. Last week, I think it was Jack in the Box. It was 72 locations, I recall. Now, Hardee's closing 77 locations. And I got to say, good. Because they're disgusting where I'm at. Maybe back in the day, they had, again, back in the day, I'm talking over a decade or so ago, they had something, maybe, a breakfast that was worth you go in there and give it. I don't know. I don't trust none of these fast food joints, and the closest one to me is disgusting. So ain't no Hardee's that we be touching. I will say though, when lockdowns happened, that was a perfect time to go out and see where all the companies stood. It was a litmus test for a lot of things, but it allowed you to go out and see who stood where. We walked in Cracker Barrel in Tennessee, and they were like, "You mask, blah, 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 blah," all barking at us. We were like, "Nope," turned around and walked out. Screw you, screw Cracker Barrel. As much as I love your little shop and everything in there, and always, that's always cool in a snap. But all these things, they changed so much, and everybody knows. But we went across the street to Waffle House. Waffle House didn't give us that problem. They didn't give us no problem. So Waffle House will always be the pick. That was a prime example right there of who I'm going to be giving my business in that situation if I have to pick. But Hardee's, it looks like it's another one dying. Another staple. It's been around a long time. Shutting down a bunch of locations. I foresee places like this, they're going to keep closing down more and more. So this is across Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Missouri, Montana, South Carolina, and Wyoming. Dang, I thought I was going to get to say Kentucky. It's a Tennessee-based. That's how garbage they are. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to trash them, but they're trash. The food sucks. And I don't trust none of these places again, like the mystery meats, what they're using, the chemicals. None of the big name places. Come on now. Like McDonald's, like any of the places. Come on. Like, no. Come on. It's got to be like a mom and pop type, good eating, family cooking type joint for me. Those are the best. Without any of the crap. They're hard to find sometimes. Not every town's got them, but yeah, those places that cook from scratch and like they're just, you know what I'm talking about. If you got one around you, you know what I'm talking about. Those joints stay popping all the time. You'll never hear of them closing down because they're always so heavily utilized. You can keep it going here. Nike has the worst drawdown since the late 70s. So when you hear this, it does present a buy signal. Although I will say this much, Nike has turned out to suck. Yeah, I loved it when I was a kid, when I was growing up. Michael Jordan, all the Nikes, this, that. And Jordan, the Jordan brand of shoe, they broke away. They wasn't even with Nike. It's Jordan. It was Nike. I guess there was some confusion there in the beginning. Of course, he was with Nike. But, I don't know. There's more comfortable shoe out there, in my opinion. Over the years, I just learned because I played basketball. I did all this, and I played, I wore all these different kind of shoes and stuff. So, I don't know. Nike, the last pair of Nikes that I ended up getting was like, they were just like cardboard feeling type. They just didn't, they weren't good. Like another brand. I think I got a cheaper pair of Under Armour shoes somewhere that were lightweight and they were like running shoes and they were great. And, never had a problem with them, but Nike like sucked. And I hear complaints from other people as well. So I don't know where they're going to go unless they pick up, the quality. Let's just say that. They better find new Jordans, start promoting their stuff. And anytime you got stuff being made cheap overseas and all this stuff, again, cheap is cheap. But I normally say whenever there's dips like this, and they start talking about a bullish flag, and I don't know. The S&P though is at a record high. Okay, so again, these bubbles are real. S&P trading record high, precious metals right there with it. So the gold and the silver going absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. Okay. Gold surges. Central banks brace for a global debt storm. Well, something's happening. Yeah, I've been telling you. Get it. Why they getting this good? Look, the thing here is, as long as gold is pulling strong right now, silver is going to keep on climbing too, going parabolic. And it's pulling gains on platinum and palladium up like 12%. Even higher than what silver's been doing. We've been geeking out on silver, and rightfully so. But look at this chart. Look how freaking parabolic that is right there. Okay? Like, there has to be some kind of pullback. at some point. It has to normalize somewhere. Look, if it doesn't start to normalize, dude, like, you can guarantee, like, something absolutely massive is about to happen. Like, economically, to the dollar, to everything. Something huge. It's going to affect us all. Something absolutely huge is about to happen, period. Period. They've all been buying record amounts of this. Look, I've been telling you for a decade. A freaking decade. I've been warning you about this. A decade. This one thing that I've done. I've been promoting this for that long. Here's your payday. If you want to exit, you're sick of being in it, exit. Do whatever you want. You can't bitch at this point. Look, I got in the game back when it was like 12 something, $13. In my first big purchases, I was buying around 15. And just off from there, and just buying dips along the way. The only problem here, there ain't been much of a dip. Everything's been going high. Silver has been on a tear, and it's been covering ground like we've never seen before. It broke records today. Every single day it's breaking more records, right? Like, look, at this rate, you could have bought silver like last week, a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago or whatever, for like 60 some bucks, right? And it takes a couple weeks for it to ship and get to you, okay? Because right now there's a squeeze. There's a shortage in the market. There's about to be something huge happen. Huge. Absolutely huge happen. People that are sleeping on this are just ignorant. The move's about to be made. You can tell by the actions, just like you'll tell them by their fruits. You can tell by the charts and the fact that all the metals are doing this. They're all racing sky high. Like I said, copper, a record 12,000 a ton. The platinum, palladium on a tear. Huge gains. Catching up. They're catching up like the game always does. They got to catch up with gold. But guess what? Gold's not done. Gold's setting a record still of its own. This is absolutely insane. This is bananas, man. Look, I made mention over the holidays, like, just if you get your hands on anything, get your hands on it. There's still places out there selling right now. And get the deals. There's places out there selling. Like I picked up some. But there's off-brand, depending on where you go. You can go to JW Bullion. I always want to say Jam Bullion. APMEX is the best to go check out. No, I don't shill. I've never shilled you. I could have probably made $250,000 shilling freaking links. Like, that ain't me. I ain't doing that. Anyhow, I probably should, though, with this gold. I probably should start a gold and silver something, just because I'm dealing with it so much. And if it can provide a discount to everyone else that's looking to get it, that would be key, right? At MEX, though, you're going to get deals over there on, I don't know, things they want to get rid of. Like, they got a lot of, like, I seen a lot of, Jesus on the cross, and then there were some Tivity ones that it may only be a few bucks, but they're a few bucks cheaper. You're buying this for the metal weight. Down the road, when you take this into the pawn shop, it doesn't matter what design's on it, unless it's extremely rare and wanted. But it's not about that. It's about the weight, and that's it. And that it's legit, a serialized bar, right? So whatever you're buying and purchasing, make sure it's a serialized bar. Hold it. If you've been holding it this whole time, you could just take it right to a pawn shop anywhere. If a place gives you a problem, walk right out of there. There's other places out of there. I don't care if you got to go to a different state, because every state's different. But like, my state, you can go in there, You can walk right into Coins Plus, and long as it's serialized and everything, no problems, no questions asked. They'll go right. They'll calculate all the weight right there with the calculator. They may test some things with the tester. Boom, boom, quick, boom, boom, boom. They fork you out the cash for what it's worth right there on spot, and you get paid out. You get paid out. So, like, this is the move. Like, the get rich quick stuff's always a scam if you ain't learned. Like, yeah, there's some ways out there, some loopholes. A lot of them are flash in the pan. By the time you learn of them, it's done come and went. But with this has been something we've just believed in and known the whole time, kind of like a common sense thing to me. When it's to gold and silver, I've always seen it in my mind doing exactly this, and here we are. And it's the crazy thing is, it's like the engine's just getting going. I'll be honest, I'm hoping for a pullback. So when people are like, "Oh, dude, gold just collapsed, and like silver's back down to $50, and like blah blah blah," so much for what? Like that. You should be jumping for joy that if those windows of buy opportunity ever open again, $50 silver at this point, after we just clipped like freaking 80 or something, like, get out of here. Like, you should be buying all day. Same thing with huge pullbacks on gold. It's got to happen at some point here, right? The fact that it keeps running, this is where people start FOMOing in. I'm going to say this, though. I've never in all these years seen this much action, price action, buy action. I've never seen the stars align for the perfect, in such a way for like the perfect disaster here. Like, all the signs are there that something massive is about to happen, to where the gold is going to be used for what it's always been, the real money. And that's why they've all been buying it. And when this crisis happens, whatever gold you're sitting on is the real money you're sitting on. Do you understand that? It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. In an illusion that's been most of everyone's life. They know gold and silver exists, but it's all about paper money, right? And we're using this worthless paper money. But when this worthless paper money really is worthless, or say you can't even get your hands on it out of the bank or whatever, gold becomes king. This event is huge because it's global, and like, it don't affect just us. This affects everybody. The Chinese have been stacking like madmen, buying more than anyone out there, because when this transition happens, again, it's king. Whoever has the most is king. And they're hoarding it. Like, people are just now starting to wake up to it. Like, this is going to cause FOMO. It already is. It's causing FOMO right now, where people are like, "Oh crap!" Like, I'll tell you right now. Like, all right, I'm gonna put a financial plan out there right now from here. Okay, this is the 2025 going into 2026. This is the future outlook from here. This is my plan that I'm gonna throw out there, and what I think someone should do in terms of precious metals here. Okay, this is very important. Okay, because right now, and a much love to all you guys out there that have already made a killing off this. Anyone that's listened, anyone that's invested since 10 years ago. I dropped a video 10 years ago talking about this in the whole beast system, the whole beast blockchain, warning about it. And the route to go would be silver and gold. And that eventually, because of technological reasons and just because the dollar's going to fall, the dollar's going to start to implode, you're going to see the metal surge. Now, gold's the king, right? Everything follows it. But I'm going to say this. Silver's its own animal here, okay? And this is just, again, all this has just been me. Just like, I'm no wizard. I just seen the realities of this all back in the day, where this is going to go. But I see $20,000 gold within 10 years easy. 10-year forecast. 10 years just flew by. Okay? 10 years just flew by. Anybody that invested from Jump Street is quadrupled, like 5-6x'd their money. Easy. You can't complain at all. Great investment. You would have wished you bought more. So here's how I see it. We're going to hit $1,000 silver in that window. If gold hits 20,000, up it hits between 20 and 25, like that window. Silver easily jumps up and hits 1,000. Now, silver easily jumps up there for a lot of reasons. In the technological reason is chief here. There's no better conductor in the world. There's no answer to a lot of these riddles in terms of the metals above silver. Silver just answered the whole lithium battery problem, the whole problem period when it comes to batteries. They couldn't stabilize them. And now Samsung just came out and they said, we've got a brand new revolutionary battery that I dropped a video on. And it's the silver bomb. This is a battery that stops all the issues that they had before. See, with lithium and with all this battery stuff, like over time, many years, with the use of it, it can build up what's called dendrites. That's why you got to be careful on how you charge things. If you charge it pure sine wave through the sun, the clean energy, that's good. But when you use dirty energy, it can. And this is real deal. It's all real deal stuff. This can create a lot of problems, especially with inverters and all that stuff for like solar equipment and things like that. But the dirty energy can build up things called dendrites. And these dendrites can build up, and that's what cracks the housing of the casing on these batteries and causes them to explode. Okay? There's only one way to solve that. And what they found is putting a small little sheet of silver stops it. That is absolutely huge. That is just one technological reason right there why silver is going to continue to go bananas. It's going to go crazy. It's going to clip 100 and it's going to run past when it breaks 100. Usually these things, it's like when you hit the buck area, you run up to like a $1.20 something, between $1.20, $1.30, and you see a pullback. Perfect example is Bitcoin. It just ran up. It broke the 100K, and when it did, it FOMO'd up to between 120 and 130, the window we even predicted, and then it gave pullback. You see, there's a FOMO thing there. It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing that when soon as silver breaks 100, it's just. Look, it's making $2, $3, $4 gains right now in a way that it's never done before. Okay? And when it breaks 100, it can start making $5 to $10 gains like it's never done before. And then once 150's broke and it's coming up on 2, it's over. And right there from 1 to 2, you could have doubled your money. If you got 10 grand, want to invest on this, put it in the precious metal, sit on it. 10 turns into 20. Boom. Okay, and here's what I'm trying to tell you, is work on a 10-year plan. It's a 10-year plan from here. Okay? You could make it whatever 5-year plan. You can make it whatever year you want. But you got to go with something here. We're 10 years in. Let's go on 10 years out. Okay? Again, I foresee at this rate, and again, anything can happen here. The 20 to 25 could happen in 5 years. I don't know what they're going to do. I can only imagine that, like, if a crisis was to kick in, it's going to accelerate this. Again, we don't know if there's any gold in Fort Knox. They haven't shown us. All those things play huge here for the dollar, for Americans, all that stuff. Okay. Other countries even are in confiscation mode of the metal. There's laws in place of what can be used and what can't. Things like gold and silver, man, there's going to be, if we see a pullback, make sure to holler at me and be like, yo, Dabu, like, does it look like a good pullback, a good time? Like, if you're seeing something I'm not, maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I'm caught up doing some other things. Maybe it gets off my radar in the weeks to come. Like, when it all goes down, they're converting this whole thing to digital. And you either get all your money converted over to digital, or you go to the real money. And it's interesting that everybody, even the governments, are going to the real money because they too know the digital's a ruse. What about their black budget? Do you think all their black budget stuff's going to be done on blockchain and done on anything that can be tracked? No, it won't. They will keep other avenues open for them in their criminality. They sure will. They sure will. Because some of these things they can't continue to do their criminal things on. They will be busted for sure, especially in open blockchain. It can be tracked just like they bust other criminals. They too will be busted right there. It's all about what the people tolerate. I don't know, man. Gold, silver, man, on a tear. I hope you got some for Christmas or made an investment. I'd get some again. You could buy some right now at like $80, and I can't tell you what's going to happen. This thing could clip $100 in the next week before you even get your shipment in the mail, and you would have made gains on your purchase by the time you got it. From the time you bought it, from the time you even received it, you'd have made huge gains. Psh, what? Like, this is crazy. I walked in my dad's, man. He had these silver spoons, all this stuff sitting out on the table, and he's been at this stuff for years. And I was like, "Dang, you got some all?" He's like, "Oh yeah, but them are all mostly, they weren't the all silver ones. They were all in a different pile." But yeah, man, collecting the metals where it's at. All right, the London silver markets they're getting squeezed. Look, you got to pay attention to this. You're gonna miss. You've already, for people showing up late, like you already missed the party. It's like you kind of did. You missed the first wave. There's no doubt about it. When we were out there buying at $15 silver, and it's pressing like it's around 80 right now, and we're talking like 80 or 100 like any moment. Like, yeah, there's been a huge come up there, huge gains. So people are popping bottles on that. But again, looking forward, I see $1,000 silver. That's the next benchmark. Like that's real huge victory right there. And let me tell you, if you get in right now, I sound like a salesman. That's crazy. If you get into silver right now, you can more than 10x your money. So $10,000 invested, just for example, a 10-year plan would net you $100,000. 10-year retirement plan right there in silver alone. $10,000 in silver. Wondering where to park it? Well, should have had 10 there anyway. If you would have had 10 there, if you'd had $10,000 parked there, if you'd had $10,000 parked there already, like you'd be sitting pretty on like what, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 of already. And now imagine 10xing that. You damn near have $1 million if people that would play the cards right off of $10,000 on the silver could have made damn near $1 million when it's all said and done. And people just going to sit there with the thumb up their ass. I don't know what the like. These are very finite, very small opportunities, and I don't sit out here and pitch nothing. But like this, it speaks for itself. It sells itself. The proof is in the pudding. I just don't want you to miss the train, because this train is bound for glory. This train, right? And this is gonna happen. It's happening before your eyes. I don't want you to miss it. I don't want you to miss it. So, good luck to all of you. And before I end it, there's always an asterisk, a caveat, that the government could come and confiscate it one day. It's the only pitfall. So have a plan. Here's a plus out of Cali. A federal judge says that California cannot hide gender swapping from the parents. That's huge, don't you think? They were actually trying to like gender swap your kid behind your back at school. Like, oh my gosh. How people are not up in like a school meeting or something going crazy about some of the stuff, or how you even have your kid in this environment, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's nuts, man. Like, every state's different, but that ruling will go a long way right there. Now, here's a ban on the new models of the Chinese DJI drones. So DJI, Chinese made, who's been on the radar here for some time for being malicious in nature. They said this before, they were going to potentially ban them. And I wondered, because my drone, my DJI Phantom 3 or whatever it was, that I flew for the longest time, it was DJI. And I always wondered about all of it, because the geofencing, the being inside of secure locations, like all this stuff, the tracking, and like China knowing every bit of it. Like I just, it always made me wonder, well, they're coming out and they're flat out saying right now, they act like they're happy, about this, but in the real world, like, we shouldn't be. Like, things should all be safe and you should be able to trust people and businesses, but like, no. They say they're pleased that the FCC has now added foreign drones and related components, which pose an unacceptable national security risk, to the FCC's covered list. So all of a sudden, these are huge risks. My drone crashed at a video shoot at the last conference. It died. I had a lot of close calls to that thing, but I guess it was meant to be. It died. Snapped the frame on it and everything else. I need a new one. But what that tells me is I need one that's not DJI to begin with. So maybe that's it's gonna have to be. I have to have one. I have to have a drone for what I do, where I go. I hate not having one, because anytime I go to any of these cities and like there's massive protests and all that stuff, it comes in beautiful, because I can get it in the air and I can see so much. I can scout everything out. I can see where a big contingent of protesters are. I can see where the police got a line or a wall set up down the road. I can see that they're trying to kettle and swing around a few blocks. It's nuts, but it's our eye in the sky. It's critical, and it's come in handy so many times. I've taken it down, like, I've taken it to crazy places, for crying out loud, like the Tikaboo Peak, and launched the dang thing and got footage of Area 51. Even though there were microscopic buildings, it was the first drone footage of Area 51 officially, I'm telling you. We did it. We did a lot of first out there. It wasn't the best. It wasn't right over the base, but we didn't need to do that. Like, we could zoom in, and we did. We live streamed. I've got the footage on my channel. We did a lot of first out there, but I got the drone up in the air, straight up in the air, and you could see little buildings as I was descending. And I'm telling you, I knew it right then. I was like, we did it. There was a wall of wind stopping me, but from doing anything else. But yeah, man. And imagine though, anywhere that I took that drone, they're saying like they're basically saying they're right that the Chinese were watching. I took a thing everywhere, you know, and got some amazing footage all over the place, and the Chinese were watching. But so are the American government. All right, and let me tell you this while I'm at it. All right, let me just tell you how much the American government's watching, and how much like listening right now, all the time. Like, you'll be surprised. You'd think nonchalant, you know, off the wall, random Friday night stream or something like that. Like, you know, are they listening? You can bet your ass they're listening. And these days, AI is listening. I made a small mention on a stream many years ago that I was going to live stream the All-Star game in Cincinnati. And I knew the rules. I know the rules. And I abided by the rules. And what I did is I launched my drone. Cincinnati's beautiful from the upper hills and everything. It's almost like a Southern California feel with the hills and all that. And right there on the water. It's a pretty city. It's the city I use in underground to open up with. Anyhow, I launched the drone, flew it, and I went down to the bridge across the river, and I crossed right between the golden balls on the bridge. This was my test flight. And I was like, this is going to be my flight path. I'm going to fly this exact path. I'm going to fly across the water. I'm going to go right over toward the stadium, which is on the right of the image that I always share. And I was going to stop and rise where I was still above the water, not above the stadium, not above any people, but still could see right into the stadium and just get a killer shot, right? And then fade back out of there and then fade back. You only get about 20 minutes, 25 minutes of battery life if you're lucky anyway. So that, you know, you're 10 minutes out, then like you got to start heading back, you know. You have to, especially out over water, right? It's coming down over water. So it gets crazy. Well, the feds was watching. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you. Today, I'm sitting here. I hear the house start shaking. It starts rumbling. I'm like, what the? I go outside and I look. Right there, storming right at me. It's this little Cessna, really low, loud, and bustless. I'm talking like 50 feet above. It was right above the house. I'm on a ridge. This is the closest we've ever been buzzed. The closest. By plane, not a helicopter. The helicopter's been all around us here, like close. I'm cussing it. I'm screaming. I'm cussing. All day's like, what the? 10 minutes goes by, right? Just enough for it to go out in the distance and pan to a wide turn, come back. I hear this thing again. I said, no way. I open up the window and look. It's coming straight at me. Low and loud again, bossing. I get pissed. So I know it's them. I just start screaming, you know, F you, flipping them off out the window. Like screw you. Right every time. Room. Hop on flight radar. Hop on AdX exchange. Nothing. It's the feds. Nothing. Any commercial flight craft will be on there, especially on ads. Nothing. It's the feds. It was the military. It pissed me off. That happened today to me. Today. Out here in the middle of nowhere. Okay? Just for the record, anything happens to Abu 7. Just for the record. We ain't doing nothing up here. I could come up here, making meth or something. Like, give me a break. I don't know what they're up to, but they come up here and try to wake on me. This is all for the record. Anyhow, that's the heads up on the DJI stuff. And they got drones out here too all the time. We see craziness in the sky. I know that they're not I don't assume them to be like UFOs, like with aliens in them, like that type of stuff. Like these are, I'm gonna say, like the Jersey drones. These are drones that are whipping through the sky, lightning speed, stopping on a dime, going back the other way. And again, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. They're not doing all this like per se, like right above beaming lights on me, but it's right out here above. That's right in the sky above me out here. Step outside and look up, and like it's all going down. Like it's not like those are like swooping in like the plane did today. Like what the plane did today was like a straight up look, son. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. Like these. I'm going to call them every name in the book right now. I'm going to bite my tongue. These dudes went and they fueled up a plane this morning. And they hopped in it. They had a map. They had a plan. Fenced it. Is everybody hearing me? And had my place circled. Do you understand this? Do you understand that? Circle to bust me low. Go out, pay, and turn around and come back and bust me low again. Do you understand that? Something ain't sitting well with me on this. I do nothing wrong. So, look, they're gonna come, they better come kill me. That's all I'm saying. Like, I do nothing but get messed with. So, telling you, man. Cats then come up here, slip up here, cut cords on things, do stuff like, I'm telling you, man, like, I say these things and put it out there for the record, just in case whatever happens, madness pops off and goes down one of these times. Yeah, it's not very discreet. It's very in your face. Like, what kind of message is that? What are you trying to tell me? Might as well have to jump out, parachute down, come on down here and talk to me. Tell me what's up, man. I'm sick of the games. Not very discreet is right. So it's on purpose for sure. Why? What impression are you trying to put on me? A warning? That's why I'm telling you all right now. Day after Christmas. First mission they go out on. Let's go mess with Tabu. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I wish it was a joke. I wish it was made up. All this. It's not. I'd be lying if I said if I wasn't concerned. What are you trying to warn me of? Why did you do that? No. And much love, Jay from the Ville. Thank you for the coffee, brother. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it more than you know. You never know when. I was telling my daughter this earlier. You never know when the day's going to be your last. You got to live life to the fullest all the time, every day. So many people that I know in this life's already dead and gone, so you never know. Okay. Let's switch gears here. Just pick it up. Start hammering these things, knocking them down left and right. the thieves are getting brazen out there. So brazen, they're willing to go into a store, chain up the ATM, and rip them out of the freaking wall like you're going to see here. This happened in Texas, 7-Eleven. Cats just don't care. They used a stolen truck to do it, but they just don't care. They go in, run a cable. Look, the store's open. The store's open. He goes in, opens his door, hooks the cable to it, gives the signal. Boom! They're out the door. This happens probably all within a couple minute window. Less than a couple minutes, they're gone. Dragging it down the road. Like, less than a couple minutes. Like, the people in the store didn't even have time to react. And no one was trying to stop them, which was questionable. I question that. Like, how much of a setup was this? Did you know anybody working there? They obviously had this place staked out. How did you know anything about it? How did you know? They obviously been in there. They knew something about that ATM. They knew that the bottom even opened up and there was a spot to latch onto. So they had to be on previous footage in there, scoping it out. I want to see it all. Pull it all. Oh, you don't have it? You see, a lot of details here. I'd be asking about that one. People getting brazen, man. Stores open, just rolled in with the chain right out front, rip the damn thing right out the front door. Gone. You're getting crazy these days, huh? All right. Here's one for cats not only in Florida, but I'm going to say anywhere out there. Florida is like, they're trying to roll this out in like be the example of what security should be in the United States. And it's coming out of Miami-Dade and spreading to other places in Florida and also in the United States. There's two things happening here. Okay? One has to do with this flock system. Flock is being rolled out everywhere, probably in the city near you. And this is where cameras are being set up and they're tracking the license plates of everyone. And I'm telling you, it's unconstitutional. It should be fought through and through, not only on state levels, but, Supreme Court. Like, you shouldn't be tracked like animals like this, but there's always arguments back and forth that you should, on all different types of fronts. But what's happening here is flock utilized all over the place, and a guy came along and figured out that if you put a couple of little things on your license plate, it stops the AI from seeing it. So Florida has made a law now. It's like a felony, like equal to driving drunk, DUI, to where if you get caught trying to manipulate your license plate to where the AI can't read it, you get charged with felony. And I'm going to say that, like, it was against the law. Would have been against the law anyway beforehand to ever try to do anything to your license plate like that they're going to say. But, like, they're going out of their way now to pop people left and right, because if the AI can't pick it up, it's going to flag it also as that vehicle right there. Now, let me tell you something, guys. Let me tell you something. You're living in a different day and age, okay? They've got the ability to ID your vehicle through something called thumbprint technology, to where the uniqueness of your vehicle is picked up by AI. It doesn't even need your license plate. The license plate is just another biometric marker, basically, on the vehicle. And they're going to know who you are anyway. And your vehicle is going to get flagged as doing this or having something wrong. So, it's been said, what if somebody drives through mud and it obscures it? And that's a possibility. But don't be surprised in this day and age if agents aren't showing up in your driveway looking at your license plate. Like you look out the window and you see agents out there looking at the back of your car at your license plate. Well, guess what? This is going to be the number one reason why. Right here. Flock all over the place. It's unconstitutional, I'm telling you. And people need to stand up and start fighting these things. So the number two thing here to watch out for that is completely unconstitutional right here is this pug. What is pug? Pug is an SUV, an electric vehicle, basically, SUV, rolling out of Miami-Dade that is equipped with state-of-the-art cameras and imaging that does not go on the highway, but what it does do is it goes through all the back roads and it creeps through all the neighborhoods in Florida using thermal imaging, which is invasive, which is, if you don't know, it can see through things like the curtains that you have up, and it goes off a thermal heat signature, and it can see through certain materials and everything else. They've got the ability to see inside your home anyway. If you've got Wi-Fi, they can see everything in there. Okay? So this pug is being used with AI creeping through your neighborhood, and it has a drone that it launches from the top of the vehicle, and it can stay connected via a tether and stay up there for hours. And it could be watching your neighborhood the entire time. And with LiDAR technology, it can see right through your roof. It can see everything going on in your home. And look, senators, politicians in Florida have stepped up and even voiced concerns about this. Like, yo, I've got major concerns. The drone in the air, like, give me a break. I've got young girls in our swimming pool in the backyard that, like, get out of here. Like, our privacy's gone like this. They're fighting against it. And you better hope somebody steps up. And, like, the people are so docile and do nothing these days. Like, you better hope, like, at least the politicians, somebody gets pissed off about this, does something, because everyone else isn't doing anything. It's sad. But, yeah, rolling out these pugs that they're autonomous. There's no cop there. So if a neighbor calls about a party being out of control and too loud, a pug's going to creep up on the block, dispatch a drone, be watching you and filming the entire time, creeping up on you to the driveway, a drone in the air. And this drone's done seen through the house, all the layers of the house, from the roof down to the basement. It's got people partying in every room. It's got a head count on everyone. AI has then been able to zoom in for the people in the backyard around the pool and everything. And it's then got ID on dozens of people. Dude, I don't even want to be in this place like this. Not, nowhere around. Nothing like that. You have no freedom. You have no privacy. Never. You can be completely innocent sitting in your house right now tonight. And because this pug is making its way through your Florida neighborhood, you're being watched. You're being watched. You could be having, I don't know, private relations with your companion, and it's watching you. Like, this is, they got to stop it. It's got to stop somewhere. I miss the 90s too, bro. Dare I say, back even on up into the 80s. I miss the 90s too. Like I said earlier, I watched a film at my mom's from September 10th, 1995. If I could ever in my life go back to a day in my life, I'd choose that day. I was hoping that I would leave my body right that second and be whisked away at that moment. Like, with all the knowledge I have right now, could you imagine going back into that point in time with all the knowledge that you have now? Talk about sweet. You could change everything so much. I'm here to tell you, you can change reality more than you're told anyway. You can speak things into existence. You are the wizard. You are the magician. You are the co-creator of God with God. God resides within you. You are the spark, the divine eternal source of the Most High that lives within a vessel, within the body. Oh, yes, you are. And you speak anything and everything into existence. This is why you should never speak bad about yourself. You should never say, oh, I'm bad at this. Oh, I'm bad at that. Oh, darn, I can't do that good. Oh, darn, I can't do it. Never should you ever, ever, ever allow that to happen. You should correct anyone around you that does it, that ever speaks anything negative like that. You should do this all the time. You should speak good affirmations all the time, positive all the time. The moment you wake up, the moment you go to bed, because all you're doing is creating. Your words and vibrations, you don't even know how powerful you are. That's the craziness about all this. They've dumbed everybody down so much. I'm here trying to snap you out of it. You are all magical. You all have a power. They took away the tools. They just simply didn't teach you. You are all wizards in your own right. Jesus said you would go on to do greater things than he. Man that walked on water, broke the bread, healed the sick, did all these things. He understood principles, I'm going to tell you. He understood things that are kept secret from you. Do you understand this? And when you understand this and learn these things, they are a power. When you understand these tools and the people around you don't, it becomes magical. But it's really not. It's basically hidden science. You know, like if you never knew how magnets worked and you walked in this day and age and you seen someone's, for instance, there's little floating tables in the living rooms. You see it, you think, oh, it's magic or something, but it's not magic. It's a technology, something that a lot of people are just not aware of, or never taught. You can change the world. Just if there's any adjustment I ask that any of you make, it's that right there. Try to speak more good things into existence, and you'd be surprised how quickly things start to materialize around you. I could teach you a lot, but we're short on time here. So that's why I always say, whenever you see me in the flesh one day, if that ever happens, that's where a lot of time will be spent, I'm sure, talking about the secrets of secrets, because you have to want them. I'm gonna share with you this viral clip here real quick. This is Santa getting pulled over. You don't see this every day, but
Santa.
CCW. I'm not gonna move until they can play again.
Santa has a CCW.
Sir, you have to.
Times are rough.
You gotta protect me.
Are you? What's the last name? Yeah. So, you know why I'm stopping you?
I was looking down. I didn't even check.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I have no clue.
So I had. Speed limit is 55.
Yep.
There's a lot of deer out here, a lot of people that are pulled right out in front of you. So your reaction time is not as good as 55, correct? Santa, do you have your driver's license out?
Can I get out?
You sure can. Where you guys headed?
Right here to Delta. My daughter works with her boss wants to come up to do Santa for.
Oh, cool.
You can unlock it. Stay ready. Santa's 100-something years old, you know.
Oh my gosh. This is a video of the night.
You know what's funny? I just left Berkey.
There goes my presents.
We just left Berkey and sheriff was, are you good? The sheriff was in Berkey, are you?
No.
We just seen the sheriff just sitting in the fire department.
No, you're in Fulton County now, so.
We went by him and pulled in and waved in and he got a kick out of it.
Cool.
Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention. I was looking at that new thing my daughter put on the car and some of the fuel, man.
We just had so many accidents.
You're right. My son just got a big buck here on County Road
Yeah.
2.
Whoops. Here's this.
This way. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he tried to slip him 100
You still
under the
reside
ID.
here?
Moved to,
Okay, good. Okay. Just slow your speed down a little. I mean, Santa. Slow your
Get Rudolph on you.
It's Nick,
You don't mind if we get a picture? She gets a picture with it.
No, good. Whoops, hold on, man.
Oh, yeah, you don't drop that kid. Get your picture, camera.
Let me find my. Use this phone here. Get your camera.
Sorry about that.
So you don't see that every day. You know, what I thought at first glance when the whole thing happened is they were blurring out what was like the car, but then I seen the cop hand something back. And again, I've seen it, it's happened before. I've seen it in real life. I've seen cats do it. They have $100 bill underneath their ID when they give it to the cop. And you know, it can go a lot of different ways depending on the cop. If they really want to be a prick, they call you out on it and this and that. They could try to say, "Oh, you tried to bribing me and all this." If you're lucky, comes back and says, "Have a nice day," and let you go. I don't know. Is it worth that risk though? Trying to slip a cop $100 bill when he can just sit there and just like slap another fine on you? And if you cops are like usually pricks. Should have slipped him an ounce of silver, huh? Yeah, well. Yeah, I thought you don't see that every day. You don't see Santa getting pulled, getting yanked. All right, here's one. A Muslim trained in Somalia has been sentenced to life in prison because they say that he was going to commit a 9/11 type of attack here on behalf of Al-Shabaab. This is good. He trained to be a pilot. This shows that they were training and preparing to try to pull off some kind of an attack involving aircraft. Definitely not good. And someone, thank you for the coffees. I appreciate it to the fullest. So yeah, they're revealing a plot here. Again, connected to Al-Shabaab. And I bring it up because of everything that's been going on with Somalia, all the talk of it. Anytime they start bringing up these cycles of talk, there could be more to it. Like, we could see some kind of attack, and who's it going to lead back to? This exact Al-Shabaab group, which, look, one guy here gets busted. There's definitely more that are trained. But this guy, they stopped him. Whenever they start talking about trained to fly commercial aircraft and things like that, it's like, whoa. A quick update on Sean Diddy Combs. He asked the Federal Appeals Court for a reverse of his conviction amid and an immediate prison release. Now, I kind of like laugh at this, like, yeah, right, but look, he only got like 4 years to begin with. It's like a slap on the wrist, and Trump could pardon him. Really could. Like, Trump's like, yeah, you know, he's a friend and this and that, and this is like, oh yeah, here we go. Gonna let your friend sitting there and rot? No, he'll pardon him. If Diddy don't get cut loose anyway, it just seems like he'd pardon him. Definitely, like, I feel like Diddy will be out before Trump's term is up, period. That's what it's looking like, unless they nail him down on like a bunch of other charges. Here's a crazy story right here. We got a kick streamer. He runs over a stalker with his Cybertruck. And this one's just, it's pretty crazy. The Cyber stalker, so to speak, you can see in this clip jumping on the hood of the car. They back up and apparently they run over him. And oh man, it's kind of crazy here.
Start driving with this guy.
There. See that guy? And he's just acting stupid, putting his tongue out. But the driver decided to run over him.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And he makes a comment.
Is he dead?
I don't know.
Hopefully.
He said, hopefully. They may nail this guy. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go, which way this is going to go. I don't know all the context of this whole thing. If their life was like threatened, they're saying that this guy's a stalker, but the guy, was sitting there with his tongue out. The guy was also streaming or had his phone out. Didn't seem to have a weapon. Wasn't, he did get on the hood of the car for a second. Did that warrant getting ran over in the situation? Could the guy have could the guy have went in reverse? This right here is what's going to get this dude. Could he have gone in reverse and avoided this? Because when I watched this clip, this guy, malicious, even his little comment's going to come back to haunt him. Like, is he dead? Hopefully. Like, they're going to say that, yeah, you had an intent to kill here. Like the guy wasn't threatening you, wasn't threatening your life from where you were at. You could have put it in reverse, de-escalated the situation, and drove off. And we wouldn't be sitting here right now. This was what they're going to say. Easy. Reminds me of a situation like where I had somebody I know that was involved in a shooting situation, defending a life, but they charged him because he went next door, he got a gun and returned to the scene to defend and did not call the police. They argued that, well, when you could have did this, you could have did that. Like, you fell back, you could have took measures to potentially have stopped someone else from dying. I don't know. They said this guy got ran over, but they said that the person was unresponsive on the scene. The guy that you see right there, he's the one that jumped up and was doing this. Looks like he was just goofing off. They're trying to say he was a stalker. This is pretty crazy because since this guy did it, clavicular is the name of the guy driving. His kick page has been deleted. Because I'm telling you, they think that he's guilty. So, I don't know. I'll update. I don't know if that guy's dead or alive. But like, look, he looks guilty. Look, for them to make this move. And look, even Kick Champ themselves, they're like, you can see their shock there off that clip. This is them that posted this. I I'm telling you, they feel exactly how I feel, is that this guy potentially just like murdered someone, killed someone. You know, it's sketchy. Every situation's different, right? Like, it depends on what state you're in. Also, some states have laws that allow you to, like, if a group of people surround your car and they're bashing on your vehicle and all that, you can floor it to get out of there. And if you run one of them over, two of them, whatever, you're not going to get in trouble because you were obviously fleeing for your life. Especially when windows are getting busted. As soon as a window's busted and they can get to you, you know, then anything like that, the game's changed. But when it's one guy in front of your vehicle like this, and you could have, again, it reminds me kind of the Suge Knight thing, why he's in prison. One guy, it was actually a friend of his, supposed to have been a friend of his, was trying to approach. He threw it in reverse, or whatever he did. He ran over to the dude, and didn't stop, like, or any of the stuff. It was it's really messed up, and they charged him. They charged Suge's in prison for that. This doesn't look good for this guy. Yeah. So, where we at? We're probably coming up to top of the hour. 2 hours and flew by fast. Try to hit on a handful of updates here real quick. The DOJ finds 1 million more Epstein documents. Says it will take weeks to review. Well, that's funny. You see, they had a deadline, and by law, they had to meet that deadline. They missed it. So, yeah, all of a sudden, 1 million more documents come out of nowhere. Remember, everything that they drop is like heavily redacted. And then people were trying to show and say that they could unredact all the stuff. So 1 million more, 1.7 million more comes out of nowhere. Like, where'd you find it? Hidden in a closet, a trash bag, and FBI headquarters? Like, what? They're always saying something crazy. So Trump, look, every time he comments or does something on this, it makes him look guilty. So he says, he posts this ominous post with a Christmas message, savaging Democrats who visited Epstein Island, saying, enjoy what may be your last Merry Christmas. But, like, he was just exposed as being, like, you know, one of the main targets right there in the drawer of Epstein. And then they took that down after they put it out, which was completely sloppy. It was ridiculous. They've been putting out redacted posts of things that were unredacted in the past. And he has been shown to be on the flights and gone to this place many times. I don't know, man. The charade continues. Now a lot of heat's coming down on David Copperfield, and he's going to need all of his magic to try to make this one disappear, because it looks like they're coming for him. Yeah. So here's the thing with Copperfield. If you're wondering why some of these characters are just now getting thrown under the bus, Copperfield has been in court and has been busted before. Yep. So what they're saying here is that Epstein gave several victims backstage passes to David Copperfield's shows as a treat for their services. So they were coming there, their sexual services, and they were getting all these free passes to his shows. That's what one of these emails is exposing. One of the prosecutors says that Copperfield and Epstein worked together, and these were given as birthday gifts, as again, little gestures to say thank you. And they say the explosive claims appear in emails dated from October 2007, written shortly after the FBI raided a Las Vegas warehouse owned by Copperfield amid allegations that he raped an adult woman. Allegations that he has always denied and for which no charges were filed. Okay, so he has history here in stuff like this. So seeing him in photos like we see here with Ghislaine, no doubt this guy had some freak offs with these guys. No doubt about it, and that he was compromised. And well, the dirt's getting dropped right now on him. His card's being pulled. Look at it through Michael in there in a couple of the pictures. Have throw Michael in there with Epstein. Tried to deflect away from Trump. It's anything to deflect away from Trump. Of course, Trump oddly came out and was defending Bill Clinton. That was another really weird thing. And you're supposed to be putting them in jail, fool. Hillary for prison, but all that's a charade. Like, all this shows you, like, it's a charade, man. But Copperfield, man, it looks like he may be one of the latest to get thrown under the bus with this whole thing. You have Prince Andrew, Copperfield. So yeah, somebody might want to tell Trash Patel. Definitely got some guys out here connected, and they're slowly but surely getting thrown out there. The guys that are going to get hung out to dry. So Trump's last words are, throw it out there, throw out all the names, let them all be seen. And if people get embarrassed, they get embarrassed. But what Trump's trying to say, though, is like he knows people that's names are in this that are good people that didn't do nothing bad, because the FBI knows. And they're just going to be embarrassed because of the connection, because their name was mentioned. So I think we're about to get a bunch of big names dropped like right now, this week coming up. Huge, like a bunch, because it would do them better to have a whole plethora of people drop at the same time. And because if you're one of them people, that's how you would want it dropped. You don't want your name dropped and singled out. You want mixed in, muddy the waters, drop like hundreds of names, thousands of names. And then also attached to it, not all these people were there for bad stuff. They were there for business stuff and to meet other influential people in other meetings. It wasn't all for, they're going to go that route. I'm telling you. And it's going to end up, it's going to be enough to work on a stupid, dumbed down populace that won't protest for anything. Let's look at this awkward Biden family photo. He's hidden in the background. It's ridiculous. Like, the former president of the United States can't even see his face all the way. Like, shove him in the back. Dude, the mask. Old Hunter Biden, old stone cold face thing. Don't know how he's going to get out of $15 million debt. I don't know how he is neither, but I ain't buying all that. I thought that this was odd, though. This was a clip of Trump talking to the troops, and for whatever reason, they cut it short.
That's the connection, sir. We're going to try and bring it back up.
The sound was cut off. The picture was cut off. I think that's the enemy doing it.
Man, he's old. He's getting old. There's no other way around it, man. play this clip here of what explaining of what Scott Adams here says. Are we witnessing a criminal cartel in motion? And he's wanting to put the blame squarely on the Dems. I tell you, it's the complete what they call deep state or whatever, but it's ridiculous. Tulsi and them get up there and they want to talk about the deep state. And I said, go arrest them. Anybody that's deep state, go freaking arrest them or start out names. Why don't you air them out at least? Tell everybody who they are instead of all these mystery men, deep state running around. So garbage. You've got the highest seats in power and you can't even name them. Ridiculous puppet show.
Is it going too far if I said that the Democrats are a criminal organization, the entire entity? Now, I don't mean every voter. Voters probably are just, going blah, blah, blah. Everybody's bad. Democrats have some problems. Republicans have some problems, but I prefer the Democrats. So most voters, I think, are blissfully unaware of just how much crime is happening. But if you look at it collectively, you're just some of the things. So you've got thousands, if not millions, of NGOs. And we know now that the NGOs are essentially money laundering operations. So those would be mostly Democrat criminal organizations, or at least, they'd be involved in something that would be
George Soros.
I think you would call it money laundering. We know that these SNAP funds were massively stolen and that was primarily by Democrats. We might find out that Act Blue is a criminal organization. I think we will.
That's true.
Some people say that our elections were rigged primarily by Democrats. That would be crime. You could argue how proven that is or not, but in my opinion, I think the rigging of elections is just a fact. And I think it leans heavily toward the Democrats. Not that no Republicans ever cheated, but probably there's a pretty big difference in scale. Then there's everything in California. Basically, it seems like every dime that California gets, it just disappears. The fire recovery money didn't go to the people who were recovering. The bullet train never happened. The money for the homeless didn't help anybody. So pretty much everything in California is even worse than Minnesota, and it's all criminal. To me, it looks criminal. And then you got this whole operation where the Democrats find ways to fund teachers who are all Democrats, and then they donate to Democrat people. So you got some kind of circular money laundering thing. Then you've got the main Democrats who pulled the Russia collusion hoax. You've got the Clinton, what was that big Clinton initiative that was probably just a money laundering thing? Yeah, the Clinton Foundation, thank you. So pretty much every major story that involves gigantic fraud seems to be Democrats. Now, just to be clear, I'm not giving Republicans a pass. Maybe they're just better at it, right? It's hard to believe that all the crime is just on one side of the political aisle.
Right.
That would be weird, right? But am I wrong? Am I in a bubble? Am I in some kind of a bubble where I'm only seeing the Democrat bad behavior? I hear lots of accusations about Trump personally, but that stuff tends to be all transparent and public. He's not hiding it. It's in the news. You can tell he did this with crypto. You could tell he did this with whatever. So you could disagree or not like what Trump does, but that's still not Republicans. That would be something you don't like about Trump. So am I wrong that this is so imbalanced toward Democrats that if you said the Democrats are, at least as a party, not the individual voters?
Well, he's not he's definitely not wrong in the sense that we know that the left, or the guys that represent the left, they funded the most chaos throughout the years. I mean, let's look at the track record. Go back to Ferguson, BLM. Where did BLM get its roots and everything? From George Soros. He wants to talk NGOs. You can't talk none of this without talking about all that. I've lived it. I've sat here throughout all these years. I've witnessed it, city after city. It's been an onslaught. Never ever was it a city getting burnt down from a right-leaning anything. Never. Okay, BLM, city after city that they torched all across the country was all left supported, all left backed, Soros backed, him and his minions 1000%. Okay, fast forward to here recently, all the pro-Palestinian stuff, it's the same outfit supporting it. All the chaos that's been kicked up here recently, since BLM has been retired into the fold, their new groups are now out there causing chaos in a different form. They've also pushed all the No Kings, which has largely been a flop, but it's been them getting into the minds of that generation. It may not have been a generation out there burning stuff down, but it shows that they at least got all them people up off their tail and out into the streets for paying attention. The left has been busted so many times orchestrating just things that, as he said, I'm glad he said it, that you don't give the right a pass. It's not, it's as I was saying before, it's the deep state itself. It's one big club that controls the whole thing. But yeah, you know, we've known about this. This isn't breaking news. We've known George Soros has been behind this, NGOs and all. Trump knows about this. Trump even said, I think we got him on RICO. But where's George Soros tonight? He is in his mansion in New York State, sitting cozy by a fire, I'm sure. Free, a free man. Not a worry in the world. And Trump and them don't press him. It's just like the Clintons. They don't get pressed. They're not going to jail. No, they're untouchables. That's the club right there. That's the club right there. Protecting itself. You know, so Jimmy Kimmel going over, it took him over to the UK and they had him give this speech. I'm not going to play it, but he was basically trying to convince them over there the whole time that to the audience in the UK that over here in the United States, it's pure tyranny under Trump and all this stuff. It's crazy. Man, they're brainwashing and hammering the cats in the UK. We're stripping them of their freedoms and doing all this other stuff. It's bad. They're on a whole nother level. They even dragging Jimmy Kimmel over there for a Christmas special just to brainwash them. It was all about that. Brainwashing them like, hate Trump. Hate Trump. Remember, Trump opened the door here recently to all the cats in the UK and said the door's open. If you want to come here from the UK, you can come here. He didn't do that to every country. He's all about making all this money and all these gold cards, but he opened the door there. Because him, Elon, everybody's seen how tyrannical it's getting there. Elon's like, you're fighting for your life. You have got to fight back. Your life is on the line. You have got to fight back. You know, so the UK is just one example. It's just of many places out there getting attacked by its own government. We are too. We're living at a time where it's never been so clear. You can see who the tyrants are. You know, but I thought that this was ridiculous. Sitting old Jimmy Kimmel over there just to try to, I guess, hoax the audience over there into buying this crap. In France, a new Gallup poll shows that 1 in every 4 French citizens wants to leave the country. That's bad. A huge drop in confidence in terms of the institutions. Yeah, 1 in every 4 want to leave. So 27% said they want out. It's that bad. I think DJ's missing tonight because he's on the road. He said he was going here because I believe one of his daughter or something. And I wished him safe travels. Yeah, so I hope I hope they had a good time and have safe travels. I'm interested to hear what all happened on his trip, what all he encountered under that Eiffel Tower. Jimmy Kimmel is a mainstream entertainment ergo. He's part of the Ministry of Truth gaslighting propaganda apparatus. You got that right. Thank you, Kev Barr, for the comment and the support. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it to the fullest, man. Hope all is well. Can't wait to see you again, my brother. The next one here shows that the NATO countries are like trying to scare their populace into fighting Russia. And we've known this. They seem to know this. Everyone's hip to it. And it's falling apart. Now that the U.S. is like backing away, it's leaving them on their own. And something's become pretty clear here. They have a plan to kill Western white men. If you missed it, it's pretty clear. Western white men are getting slaughtered, okay? And it became clear when they were kidnapping the guys in Ukraine. Kidnapping them. Sending them to the front line to get slaughtered. Like a death sentence. It's what it is. Other countries sending their troops in there. The same thing, just to have them get slaughtered. The UK, Germany want to step up and say, oh, yeah, we want to send some of our troops. Germany, big time. Germany, like, yeah, we're going to send in a whole bunch. Well, people are like, hold on. Like, they're just going to get slaughtered at this point. The UK government's like, oh, well. Not the UK, the German government is like, oh, well. That's crazy. Like, they want to liquidate their own men. And it's clear. It's sickening. It's sickening. So, yeah, this is a ruse. The whole war is a ruse. Russia's just playing the other side. Of course, their troops are trying to kill and defend. But this is all staged. You're telling me you're going to start kidnapping your men to Germany and doing the same thing? This is ridiculous. Men don't even want to defend countries anymore. That's where we're at. Don't even want to fight your stupid wars no more. At all. At all. That's where we're at. They have to kidnap men off the streets. So this whole article goes over how they're targeting the white man for liquidation. And it's happening. And it's their own governments participating in doing it. Selling them out. Same ones that participating in letting all the migrants come in that wouldn't assimilate and cause all the chaos and to replace them. That's corruption. That's treason. Every single government and politician that participated in doing that to any and every country should be held accountable. If the people rose tonight and arrested them, you could not blame them. Oh, your life would get better. You'd be crazy to think, though, if you rose in the country, that if other countries didn't rise at the same time, though, that their buddies, your treasonous government politicians, buddies in other countries, they'll come to the rescue or try to help somehow. You know, they'll try to help them somehow. They drop bombs on you or try to drone strike you or something at this point. Look back at the last Revolutionary War in this country. The French were sending mass French in through Canada to come down here and try to fight us and all this other stuff. Like Ukraine now. Is there going to be peace? It's a huge question. You know I can't stand Zelensky. Well, Zelensky just rolls out a 20-point plan. A lot of people saying it sucks. Saying that there's no way that this 20-point plan is going to be agreed upon by Russia. It's like back to square one. But here's something crazy. Trump has said he is never ever going to meet this clown ever again unless he feels there's actually going to be a deal made. Like, the only reason, because I mean, he put on a show. Like Zelensky came in there and he pissed them off on camera, the way he acted. And Trump's like, you know what? Never again. Never again. The only way he would ever meet with him is if a deal's basically done in concrete. He's just, they're showing up for the cameras. So with that said, it's like, okay, did they actually get something huge done? Did they? At some point, something's got to happen here. So Trump's going to meet Zelensky on Sunday. There could be huge announcements coming from this. All right. And then what does Trump turn around and do? This is telling. What does Trump turn around and do? Look at this. He teases new talks with Putin. Okay. Really? Why tease them? You know? Like get it on. Like get the show on, man. Like, I feel personally that once this war's over, we already know this because they've shown this and they've said this, both sides. This opens up economic doors and opportunities for both countries that were not there before. Okay? I have no problem being allied and partnered full scale with Russia. They had a problem with it because it doesn't work into the world stage. They needed to be enemies. There's no way that Russia in the U.S. can be buddies most of the time because they stomp everyone for the most part. In all that war, China's now built up. It's in a weird spot because if Russia and the United States are striking up all these deals and start showing their hand that they're like buddies, China's got to raise an eyebrow. That's not saying that Russia would ever turn on China, but at the same time, huge economic deals and partnerships between Russia and the United States are on the table. Both sides have just admitted it. If it happens, China being the one that we're majorly worried about in terms of war out here, they lose a major ally in a sense there because I don't know. The world's a stage. I just look back at the end of World War II and it ended with us and Russia becoming allies. So the whole question is, how's this thing going to end? We still have not seen a mushroom cloud. And look at this. What's crazy here. Zelensky hints that he's waiting for Trump to die. I'm not going to play the clip, but he's given a speech. He basically says, sometimes, this is the way life is. People live, people die, and then things change. And people are like, what? He's basically saying he's waiting to ride out Trump for Trump to die to get what he wants. He don't want to give up power, and that dude's got to go. And he's got to go now. Okay? What does this one say? Zelensky has proved he is counting on a prolonged war. Okay? Well, that means if that's what they're wanting, you don't give them what they want, then end this quick is what Russia is going to do. Russia's figured out, they want to try to draw this out and drain our resources and all this. No, we're going to just, something big could happen rather quickly. If I was Russia, I would just decapitate strike this fool. You know where he's going to be on Sunday meeting Trump. Watch it closely. Watch his whole flight back to wherever. You know where he's at. You know where he landed in Kiev. As soon as he touches down, he's there. You know. There's you know this. There's no way they make it out of America and get across that ocean like in Zelensky's not his whereabouts not known about. Like Russia will know. If I'm Russia, I know, and I'm blowing him out of the sky over the ocean is what I'm doing, and ending this whole thing. Then they can have elections like they want, and they can go ahead and everything can carry on. They can do exactly as they want here. Get new leadership. Zelensky is obviously the problem. Now, when it comes to the EU, we're breaking away, right? We're not buddies with them like we used to be, or maybe people thought we were. Trump's taking us another way. He's banning them from entering the U.S. And you've got European nations openly preparing for war. Belarus is like hitting the alarm. They're like, yo, check it out. You may not listen to Russia saying it, but let me tell you, like they're all gearing up for a major war. I don't know what else to say. Like that's what they're saying. They don't know what else to say. All they can do is come out and warn us. If they are observing these countries gearing up for a major war move, then they're going to respond. Russia and Belarus are going to respond. They're going to gear up even more as well and get ready for something because they're the ones that are going to get hit. They are ramping up this rhetoric of major war, bigger than ever before, in terms of NATO and this whole war front. And it's as the U.S. is like pulling out. I don't know if it's trying to make them look tough or what, but they tried to play tough this past week, and they were going to act like they were stealing all of Russia's money and we're just going to take it. But then everyone voted on it and was like, nope. And they failed. And it makes them look weak because they are. And they even admitted it. They said, well, if we don't do this, it's going to make us look weak. Well, they need to back up and back off of Russia, and they need to have a real peace thing put into motion. But war is a racket, and war makes a ton of money for both sides, for both Russia, the United States, and any country producing weapons. So this is a different Trump than the Trump of old, of the first administration. This is a war Trump that don't care to go to war. We've got all the Caribbean surrounded right now. And he's also launching on Africa, if you missed it. He's like, oh yeah? They're over there killing Christians and they don't want to heed my warning sign? Well, then we're going to try and strike them. And he did. He struck a bunch of them. And it was like a warning shot saying, hey, if you want to slaughter Christians over there, we're going to wipe you up. We're going to wipe you off the map. And now this could be like a whole new phase. You can see right here. It's just a new phase of an old conflict. Nigeria even open to more strikes on the terrorists. So, man, the military's all over the place. There's killing all over the place. All I'm saying is like the slaughtering is nonstop. It doesn't matter what it is, where at. There's killing everywhere, man. Madness. Venezuela, special ops sent there. Ospreys sent there. Dozens. Like tons of backup resources. Like, look at this. Look at that. Oh, you know these guys are flexing. All those Ospreys right there making a move. Rolling in. Like, they have got so many assets, it's not even funny in the area. Okay? The White House orders Venezuelan oil to be quarantined. So if you want to know what's happening right now, this is what's going down. They are ordering all the military to seize every single ship going in and out of the Caribbean right now. Okay. This is where everyone needs to pay attention, because I feel like a huge staged event is about to happen. Okay. This is big. This is huge. Okay. Listen, we have sit here and watched them telegraph around the world in the past few weeks and months tankers getting hit by different groups on different fronts. One of the latest was Russia themselves just got one of their tankers hit off the coast of the Mediterranean, and it's outside of the battlefield. It shows that it's global. You can be hit anywhere. We've also seen them striking in the Red Sea, different vessels going through there, attacking them. And of course, the United States has been blowing up boats left and right in the Caribbean and now seizing oil tankers. This is where you have to pay attention. China and Russia is getting pissed with China for the most part, because some of these tankers are connected directly to them. They're Chinese controlled tankers and Iran. Now, Trump is saying, we're taking the boats, we're taking the oil, we're taking it all, we're keeping it. Okay? What this means, this is creating a big problem, because Venezuela is constantly flowing. It's like, imagine, this water coming out of a natural spring. It's always flowing and it's nonstop. They're blessed with oil in this manner, right? So they have so much oil flowing that you have to keep it going. You have to keep selling it. You have to keep it going, distributing it. You have to keep it getting barreled and shipped, okay? So what's happening is all the crucial ships that they depend on to get all this oil back and forth, they're all being seized now. So this means they're getting stopped dead in their tracks. Trump is hitting them economically. And this is what they're going to try to do first before war. That way, I see what he's doing here. He can say that he tried all these different ways and gave Maduro all the options in the world, and he didn't listen. And at this point, he's right. He's truthful. He's given him all the warnings. He gave him all the chances. Dude could have been on a flight and been out of the country last week, but he's not. He's rallying the troops, all that crap, acting like he's going to stay. So people still saying, we don't want war. We don't want war. And Trump's like, okay, then we're going to go this route. Well, it's not just Trump. His military has decided the best thing to do here is to create a blockade. So keep that in mind, okay? As you can see here, a huge UN meeting went down, a tense one. Russia and China blast the U.S. cowboy behavior against Venezuela, okay? And I want to throw this in there. A Trump-backed candidate wins in Honduras. Why does that matter? Because all of it matters. All these countries down there, El Salvador, Honduras, all of them, we're getting ready to go into a war phase. And like, you're either with us or you're on the other side. And if you're with us, you're with us. But like, if you're on the other side, obviously you're going to get pounded. You're going to feel the wrath at some point. Just like it looks, Colombia has some big choices to make. Just like Venezuela does right now. The leadership can either go or you're about to get dismantled. All right? Venezuela. Okay, look what the title says. The Western Hemisphere is becoming a flashpoint, a new battle for the Americas. People are sleeping on this. This is real deal. And I showed an image that before it's of the technocrat state. And what that is it shows the dream that Elon Musk's grandfather and all the other technocrats had of making a big empire. And when you highlight where that area is, almost like greater Israel for the U.S., it is from Venezuela all the way up through Canada and into Greenland. All of it. That's the block. It's the North American Union, man. In the end, everything they ever wanted. In the end, they are right in front of your face, setting up the military to seize it. So it's not like, you're going to go up. They make fun of it. They telegraph it. They say, oh, Canada's going to be the 51st state and this and that. And then Greenland the next after that. But technically, they're not calling for Greenland to give up their sovereignty of their name like that. Trump said it himself. This is not about even minerals. This is about national security. And under that, guys, they'll take all of it. They will take Venezuela to Greenland. And they will achieve the dream. That's what they want. And everything in between. No one will stop them. Cuba won't stop them. Mexico won't stop them. No one will stop them. They have them all surrounded right now. And they're stopping all ships from coming and going. And this is what Trump said. When you get up there around Greenland and you look around, there's Chinese and Russian ships creeping around everywhere. And he's right. Okay? Now look at this. This is I told you, pay attention. Look at this. Chinese cargo ships converted into concealable missile destroyers. Really? So it's rolling around looking like a cargo ship. It's rolling around looking like it's carrying shipping containers, but missiles pop out of it. Where have I seen this before? I'm warning you. You better pay attention right now to this one. Stop what you're doing and pay attention to this one. They are showing you directly it is China that will have the vessels that have missiles coming out of shipping containers. They are planting the seed. Where have I seen this before? They only warned us about this. What do we have here? The Economist cover. You got that right, Colin. The Economist cover that warns us of what's going to come in 2026. And right on the birthday of America, it's getting shot at by none other than a large shipping container boat that has missiles hidden inside it. Guess who's right below it? Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping. Red war machines all around China, Russia. Notice the shipping container war machine is getting hit by a satellite. Sure is. See that? It gets blasted. There's even, the beam's going right at it. There's no other way around it. A satellite hits a cargo ship that hits America. Do you see what they are telling us? That cargo ship is going to be what they're telling us right now. Chinese. There it is. There it is. We didn't even get out of the year. Okay. So there it is. Right. It hasn't happened yet, but that's a confirmation, an affirmation. That is the confirmation of confirmations right there. We were fortunate enough to be able to decipher, to pick up on these things, and to know that the Economist magazine telegraphs future events because of who runs it, the Rothschilds. And we picked up on this. We covered this. And kind of like been sitting here waiting, like, okay, what's it going to be? Well, they just showed you. They just showed you the next step. They just showed you everything. Outside of it happening, the event, right there it is. Right here. The same old bad guy. The same old boogeyman that's everywhere. The Chinese. They've just showed the whole world. There it is. Man, that's... all I can do is sit here and shake my head like I'm pissed. Like, I'm happy that we're able to see these things in advance, but what are we going to do to stop it? We're so censored and just it's like the world's never going to get the warning at this point. Here it is telegraphed. We're calling it out. Someone's sitting out there somewhere like, haha, laughing at us because we have figured it out, but yet we can't even reach enough people to make a difference with the warning for whatever the reason. I guess this is how it all ends. It goes down. I guess be thankful for what you got, though, that you're here right now with this knowledge that millions and millions and millions of people lack and will not get. So if and when an attack like this happens and unfolds, we'll all be sitting here like we know it, throwing stuff at the TV. You know, it's going bonkers because we knew it. We knew it. We actually deciphered all this and seen it before it happened. Then it happened. You go nuts. The rest of the people are just going to be like, and caught up in the madness. What does that mean when they hit America? Really, what does it mean? Well, you can see Trump down here pointing at the economy collapsing. The swords over it. The graph's going down. Remember, he's on camera saying he's here to reset the whole thing. Right? He said it. And we know it. That's what the Mar-a-Lago Accord is for. And remember, can't forget, right underneath the economy is a gavel that comes down for judgment. And below it is a tattered dollar. The whole thing is right there, if you ask me. Remember, this is 2026. Celebration of our 250th birthday. A look ahead. So this is what we should expect in 2026. I'm saying it now, loud and clear, because it's loud and clear telegraphed. There will be some kind of an attack with the Chinese warship I just showed you, or one similar. And apparently we will be the target. America will be attacked. I look down 9/11 and watching. Oh, that's confirmation right there. That's it. I look down 9/11 we're watching. That's nah. Yeah, so this is going to be like one of the big events of the coming year. A lot of huge things are going to happen. I think 2026 is going to be a massive year of huge events, huge war events, huge attacks, staged events, all the above, even economic. Remember, all the signs are there for a reset to happen in 2026. They're showing you right there again. The swords are on top of the economy. It's all right there. Everything. Like, this is a super crunch time year, special year, man. So much is going to happen, without a doubt. So I'd have a plan, man. And again, be I guess, happy that we at least have the skill, the blessing, to see these things before they happen, because millions are going to miss this. This is tantamount to like knowing 9/11 is going to go down because you figured it out beforehand and you talked about it forever beforehand, and then it happens and you get to watch the whole world flip out and reel from the repercussions of something you knew was going to happen the entire time. That's exactly what this is like. So, get over here. Damn, already 10 till top of the hour. Time flies before you know it. The end of the year will be here. So, only got a couple more streams and it'll be over. So, we've got Monday and Wednesday. Wednesday will be New Year's Eve. I don't know if I'll be live that night. It's been in the air, but I don't see why I wouldn't. So if that's the case, we're potentially going to be here Wednesday night, right now. Same kind of setup, rolling up on midnight probably for the countdown. I don't see how I go live on Wednesday and we don't hang in there until about now and get in the countdown. So might as well say Wednesday night, ring in the new year. I'll say this ahead of time. If anything, on Wednesday night, we'll say I start to stream late, but I'm going to start at 9. We're going to stick with the normal schedule. And it's been taking 3 hours to get through the news anymore sometimes. So, yeah, Wednesday, we'll just ring in the new year here on that stream. But until then, enjoy your weekend. Go over here to the chat and check some comments. Get some shout outs. As I always say, if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I'll see you here next time for some Underground World News Live. It'll be on Monday with the good Lord willing, Deanne coming through. Thank you so much to just the handful of you guys that always come through and have my back. Without you, there would be like nothing. I can't thank you enough. Thank you to all the mods for all the support. Thank you to all of you that relentlessly show up, dedicated to get the news, to hang out, to be a part of the fam, part of the underground. It's appreciated more than you know. It's good to have you guys and to be able to connect with you guys. I thank you for all the information. If you got something you want to get to me, dabu7@yahoo.com is the email. Even if you're sending stuff during the stream, I can skim it, but a lot of times I can't get to read that stuff, obviously, until the show's over. So, much love, Q City, Barb, Ava, Steve, John Boy, Silver, Golden Knight, my brother as well. And stack that silver, man. It's all I can tell all of you. Stack. Name of the game. All day long. Thank me later. Stack the silver and gold. Any precious metals at this point. Copper, platinum, palladium. Mix it up a little bit. Get serialized bars. Serialized whatever you buy. Always remember that. Okay? Serialized. That way you can offload them with no issues. And much love. All right, meaningless. I appreciate that. Thank you for the love. And yeah, man, much love. God bless, guys. Going to take us out here in some music. And yeah, Habanero, at Max. Definitely a place to go. Check out AppMax. There's always JW Bullion. Or JW Bullion, whatever the heck it is. But yeah, AppMax my go-to. Good night, God bless, Steely. What's up? Quantum, Justin, Cindy Lou, thank you. One more. Tiffany, Jane, Brian, Lone Wonder. Almost said Lone Warrior there. That's what I thought I was gonna read. No, Lone Wonder, much love. EC, Leanne, and the legendary Eon. And there, look here, and that's who was in. That's who was in the email. Thank you for the 7 calls. So much, man. You were so relentless. Legendary Eon, I can't thank you enough, man. Hope all's well. Hopefully, maybe one day I get to meet you. Much love, God bless. Much love to all the pure bloods. Stay pure, stay righteous. I love all y'all. Hey, much love, Ava. That's why I go live 3 times a week, man. And I'm glad you appreciate it. That's what means the most. I try to create a place where like-minded people can hang out, get together, and kind of call home. You know? So, this is the underground. Much love.